Shedeur Sanders is preparing the KO for Kenny Pickett to continue climbing in the competition with the Cleveland Browns. Sanders keeps fighting. The Cleveland Browns training camp is completely polarized by the competition among four quarterbacks for the starting position, and, above all, for staying on the final roster, as it's very unlikely all of them will remain on the team. The battle is between veterans Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, along with rookies Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Although he has not confirmed it to the media, Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski is reportedly planning to start Joe Flacco at least in week 1 of the regular season. Flacco was already with the team in 2023 and with 1,616 passing yards and 13 touchdown passes in 5 games, he led Cleveland to the playoffs. It's also worth remembering that there is a fifth quarterback, in fact, the highest-paid player on the Browns, Deshaun Watson. However, since joining the franchise in 2022 on a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract, he has been a complete disappointment. Kenny Pickett has been the weakest competitor among the Browns quarterbacks. The first quarterback signed by the Cleveland Browns in free agency was Kenny Pickett, who came from the Philadelphia Eagles, the current Super Bowl champions. Pickett was the backup to Jalen Hurts, that played in 5 regular season games, starting one of them against the Dallas Cowboys. Now with the Cleveland Browns, it has been leaked that Kenny Pickett has not been doing well in OTAs, organized team activities, and is the quarterback struggling the most in the competition, according to Aaron Goldhammer of ESPN Cleveland. The worst player in OTAs by consensus. Kenny Pickett, the best quarterback in yesterday's OTAs, based on what I heard, and I spoke with 20 people, consensus. Joe Flacco, said Goldhammer. As mentioned earlier in this article, Joe Flacco is the frontrunner for the starting job. However, he will have no room for error. As for Pickett, he might be the one chosen to be cut or traded, according to NFL analyst Mike Florio. I don't think they'll take all 4 into training camp. I think one of them will be cut or traded and replaced by a practice squad arm. Mark my words, they're going to trade Kenny Pickett before camp, said Florio. Pickett was a first-round pick by the Steelers in 2022 and played his first 2 seasons there before being traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. He has started 24 games in the NFL. The rain had started early that morning in Berea, Ohio, soaking the turf like it had something to prove. But inside the Browns' practice facility, lighting wasn't in the clouds. It was in the air. Shedeur Sanders stood at midfield, helmet off, scanning the field like a predator sizing up territory. Sweat rolled down his temple, mixing with rain that had snuck in under the open roof. Today wasn't just another day of reps. Today he was preparing the KO move, the play, the moment, the statement that would make Cleveland his city. And at the center of it all stood Kenny Pickett. Since arriving from Pittsburgh, Pickett had brought a chip on his shoulder the size of Heinz Field. Analysts called it a quarterback competition, but Shedeur saw it differently. This wasn't a duel. This was a spotlight audition, and the stage wasn't big enough for both. Shedeur, son of Dean and Sanders, had never backed down from pressure. He embraced it like it was family. But he knew this battle with Pickett wasn't just about arm strength or playbook memorization. It was psychological. Kenny had started NFL games. Shedeur was the rookie phenom, flashy, calculated, and more composed than a chess grandmaster. But the Browns' locker room was split. Half believed Pickett's experience gave him the edge. The other half whispered that Shedeur had that thing, the it factor, the magic that turns games into history. Coach Stefanski was watching closely, and rumor had it that GM Andrew Berry had already told a few insiders, "This is the most interesting QB room we've had in years." So Shedeur planned something special for Friday's closed scrimmage. Not a Hail Mary, not a no-look pass, something deeper, a KO in spirit. Something that would leave Pickett shaking his head and the staff nodding theirs. Friday arrived. The facility buzzed with whispers. No media allowed. Just pads, cleats, and legacy on the line. Pickett went first, throwing clean, calculated passes. He moved the offense with precision, but not passion. Safe, solid, NFL. The defense respected it. but didn't fear it. Then Shedeur stepped in. Snap 1. Quick slant to the slot receiver. Perfect timing. Snap 2. Deep out route across his body. Hit in stride. Snap 3. He called an audible at the line, something only veterans do. The linebacker's eyes widened. Then came the play.